Howdy folks, Roger Tuivasa-Scheck is going back to rugby league. I am currently on a park bench next to a Chinese train station. My dad sent me a message while I was on the bus to get to this train station to say, son, RTS is going back to league and back to the Warriors. This has been rumoured for ages, eh? There's been stories linking RTS with so many different teams. He's been linked with numerous NRL clubs. He's been linked with Japanese teams. I think there was never much in the way of like security that he was ever going to stay with the Blues past the Rugby World Cup. And with his kind of 2-year stint already now coming to a conclusion, it begs the question, like, how well has he done? Obviously his time's not over. 2023, we are still only halfway through Super Rugby. We've still got plenty of All Blacks games to go prior to the World Cup and then the World Cup itself. So there's still plenty of rugby union for RTS to play once he gets his kind of hand injury sorted. But ultimately, you feel like he probably would have been better off playing league, eh? I mean, the guy in league, I don't follow league much at all, but he was like an absolute superstar. Like he was like pick your guy, like a Dan Carter, a Cheslin Colby, you know what I mean? Like literally Peter Steph Dutoy, like Antoine Dupont won like the player of the competition for the NRL, the Dally M. And then in rugby union, like he's been all right, but there's certainly been question marks about the fast tracking of him into the All Black squad. You feel like if it wasn't Roger Tuivasa-Scheck, anybody else playing the way he played would not have been even probably in the All Black squad, right? Certainly not guaranteed any kind of spot. He's only had 3 games for the All Blacks and then 1 for kind of a All Blacks 15 squad as well. I'm sure that fella is pretty shocked by the news as well. Big riveting news. But yeah, I do feel like, as I said, he probably didn't give himself enough time. Remember, he was scheduled to kind of play Mitre 10 Cup, so for Auckland in the 2021 season, but the fact that he missed out on that because of COVID, remember Auckland ended up dropping out of the competition that year because of New Zealand's kind of regional lockdowns. He missed out on that kind of prep time before going into Super Rugby, but even then I don't think it would have been enough. Like he only gave himself 2 years really to kind of get fully up to speed, and you know, he's now 29, so he was in his late 20s at the time. I know he had a union background, but I think maybe it was a bit too much to expect for him to go from being like absolute superstar rugby league to do that kind of same form in union. It's just not the same. Like how many sevens guys have you also seen, you know, transition and then kind of they can be a little bit quiet. So yeah, it's a tough one for Roger, but I think it's ultimately the right choice. It's cool that he's going back to the Warriors. I think he did say that if he was going to go back to an NRL team, he would go back to the Warriors. So he's kind of kept his promise in that regard. So that's pretty cool. And like he's only 29, so he'll be 30. You know, he's still got a few good years left in the tank to maybe take the Warriors to some success, because the Blues, their success has been a little bit elusive even with RTS on board. But yeah, kind of breaking news for me from my old man as I sit here in China waiting to get on a train in the next kind of half an hour. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. What do you reckon about RTS? Do you still think he's a shot for the World Cup? Will they keep him in the All Black squad as kind of a utility? Have they wasted him in the midfield? Do you think they would have been better off playing him maybe on the wing? There's kind of questions about whether he should have played fullback, but obviously the kicking game is one of the big kind of question marks about that spot. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts, folks. And back in New Zealand in kind of 10 days or so. So you guys take care. I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.